Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Hold on, let me announce I'm going live here. How's everyone doing? God, dude, my mouth feels so much better. God, it looked like I had like a baseball in my mouth. Oh, puppies, hold on, buddy. Yeah, sorry, I've been gone here a couple days. I had an abscess in my tooth, and my tooth was dead to where I didn't feel it. And when they did that root canal, it like got out into the rest of my mouth, so I had a big infection in my mouth. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we're gonna talk to Dr. Shiva still here. I'm gonna reschedule that, but I do want to talk to everybody about that interview real quick and get your guys' opinion on stuff, because I don't really like kind of how the interaction's been going towards the end here, because it was all set it up in a couple interviews. They approached me and I was like, well, let's do it. And then after we agreed to everything, suddenly they wanted me to mention I don't do sponsorships. I don't have sponsorships. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't advertise for other people. So he wants me to advertise like all of his patents and all this stuff if he's going to come on. It's like, well, I mean, if you guys want me to do something like that, fine, but I don't really like to do stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do it still? Should I not do it still? Like I said, I don't like to advertise stuff like that. And if it's not like a meeting where it's like, dude, just come on, talk to people. I don't like anything like that where I feel like there's maybe a masked agenda behind it. But we'll see what you guys like. What are you guys thinking on that? So hands for some hand drippers. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I was gonna go live this weekend and start showing everybody stuff. Like, a lot of people I know are like, they're taking hits, and a lot of people aren't looking in the back end and watching the hits that they're taking and watching what's going on in the back end. The macro picture right now is just ridiculously shitty in every single aspect. These guys can't keep this up. Like I said, they can't keep this up. Their corporations are now taking massive losses. Let's just get into this. We got enough people in here now to where we can go ahead and no, that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm not gonna fuck them. I don't do that shit. Like I said, man, I don't like that crap. I really, really don't like shit like that. If you want me to advertise a single thing for you, I don't advertise anything for myself. Why would I do it for you? So it's like, at that point, fuck them. I just felt weird about it. Like, here, I can even show you. I showed K-Sheet. Here, hold on. Let me find one of the things he sent. This was the line here. And, like, I don't want to show the line because then I'm going to be advertising his fucking product. Hold on. Let me think how I can word this. Fuck it. I'm just not gonna. Let's just pass. I'm not even gonna show. Fuck it. Here it goes. It says he's generous with his time and to acknowledge this, please honor his time by basically talking about blank, 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 blank. Talk about his bio, and here's just, and it's just like all this stuff too, and it's just like, dude. Fuck it. Fuck it. See what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like there's an agenda. He's got ties to Fran Drescher along with this actor thing. We'll get into all that later on. But let's just start on this real quick here, because I feel like I have been doing an intro a little too long here today. So, over the weekend, all the stuff started coming out, and bank earnings, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about first was this Credit Suisse thing. So, they failed to report short sales for 7 years. 7 years they didn't report short sales. So this situation was so bad. They just went ahead and they locked up all this stuff into a vault and put it away for 50 years, dude. This is, honest to God, the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. They locked this away for 50 years. Like, holy fuck. I can't wait till when I'm maybe on my deathbed and I can ask my son, when he's an older man, what was the Credit Suisse ruling? Like, what the fuck? That's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. If this doesn't show you corruption, I don't know what the fuck will. But something came out today that I wanted to get into first before we start getting into all this other stuff with the banks. Joe Biden came out today, and I showed you guys in all my other streams about dark money, and I talked about how Democrats on the last election got $668 million through dark money. And if you don't know what that is, basically we can donate to PACs, but you can only donate up to $5,000. The reason that they did that was so nobody could have more influence in an election than other people. It would be a fair thing. So rich people needed to go ahead and come up with super PACs, which are unlimited. They needed to have a special advantage because they're rich. So they're more valuable apparently than me and you. So they had to go ahead and make their super PACs and dark money, which basically they just go ahead and get a group and they can donate through these unanimously. So nobody knows who's donating it. So basically this is how corporations go ahead and they buy your politicians. Well, today, Joe Biden said in 2024 he expects to raise $1 billion. And a lot of people, I want you to understand this sentence and what he's talking about. So basically he's saying, obviously, we're not raising $1 billion for Joe Biden. We can only donate 5,000 at a time, even if we wanted to. We couldn't come up with that much. So in other words, he's saying, I expect to get more money from these corporations than I did last thing. So he's basically telling all of us, and he's telling these corporations, I expect to raise up, for the up and coming next election. So Joe's doing such a fine job destroying the country, fucking us all up, and giving these guys benefits in every single way possible that he wants a raise. I mean, that is, the president's asking for a raise right now through dark money from corporations. I mean, this is pretty fucking ridiculous, dude. Good old Joey. But at the same time, he comes out today and says, hey, well, before I get to that, he comes out today and says, we're going to go ahead and throw down another $1.3 billion in fucking assets and everything over to Ukraine. That now puts us over $46 billion. Now, the war, once again, why are we in this war? It's because of BlackRock. Because BlackRock and JP Morgan have a $500 billion deal on the table to rebuild Ukraine. So the United States will spend another $100 billion, $200 billion. They don't give a fuck. They will spend it so JP Morgan and BlackRock can make that money. Why? Because what are we? We are becoming what is called a corporate republic. Now, they say corporate republics don't officially, they don't exist. It's just the cynical terms. Well, basically what this is when a company gets so powerful and the government is so weak or being able to bribe, like ours, basically, they can pretty much take over the entire company or the country, and everything revolves around making that country rich, and that's basically what the United States is becoming. It's with 10, 15 corporations, but the main one's BlackRock. They fucking own everything, let's be real. So, the other day, Janet Yellen comes out. She goes over to fucking China, and she's munching on some magic mushrooms while you got Hunter Biden doing coke in the White House. And she comes out and says, the best thing we can do for the economy is to keep sending billions over to fucking Ukraine. So, they're gonna keep sending it because they look over and go, we can send billions now to get this $500 billion deal later. The government doesn't give a shit. They don't fucking work for us. They don't care about anybody. They work for the corporations who pay their fucking money. This is called dark money, and Biden's making fucking bank. You guys have no idea probably how much money this dude's funneled offshore. He's got to get a lot of ice cream cones before he passes, Those ice cream cones, they get expensive. Fucking Joey B, dude. This fucking, God, this country, man, is just insanity. But the thing is it's all coming down to fucking greed. And just like everything, greed is what's going to collapse this. And greed is why we're going to win. Because they're still stealing by the billions. They're still stealing every fucking day, and no one cares. And they're still cheating, doing criminal acts, they're doing whatever they can. Nefarious bullshit to keep it up. Well, today they announced... Well, before I even get to that, and I just want to bring this up because this involves the war, and this just shows you how fucked up this shit is. So we said, hey, we're going to go ahead and send them these fucking cluster bombs. But they won't use them. We won't use them at all. So don't worry about it. We know we're not supposed to, so we're not going to use these. And then 2 fucking days later, they're using them. They're blowing up fucking Russian soldiers with them. This is literally insanity. But like I was telling you, we are on a downfall, and I'm going to prove to you how bad these banks are being fucking hurt. These banks are being bailed out by the government because they have no fucking choice right now. We are fucking these guys up. They're fucking themselves up. The greed, it cannot keep up at this rate because you have started a death spiral that is, I don't think they can stop. I do not think that they can stop this right now. There's nothing they can do. They come out with their Fed now, and what's hilarious is, 2 weeks ago when I was making videos, and they announced their exchanges, the crypto exchange with all those fucking banks and everybody. Oh, we got a crypto exchange now. Gary Gensler comes out and, yeah, crypto, all these guys, yeah, crypto's a fucking great thing. And all of a sudden, Fed Now comes out today, and what do they... Today, Gary Gensler is talking about how criminal fucking crypto is, how bad it is. Okay, like I said, you can see clearly the agendas these guys have. Gary Gensler, I used to think that they hated him. I used to think Gary maybe was, in between. Obviously he's a corrupt piece of shit. He's rich, he's one of them. But maybe he was kind of under the spotlight so hard, he was maybe putting in some rules with, like, the auction and trying to get rid of payment for order flow. Maybe he was trying to help. But it's not. I mean, if you watch any of these fucking court hearings, they pretend to hate Gary. Gary pretends that he's like, yeah, I'm all good. It's all psychology shit. And this is one of the things I was going to talk to Dr. Shiva about. It's all about making us think that, hey, they hate Gary. And then you sit there and during each one of these hearings, they sit down and right away, oh, hey, Mr. Gensler and SEC. And then Gary will be like, hey, always looking forward to you guys in the fucking court, in the courts and out of the courts. We always have great private discussions too. And then they always laugh. Yeah, I know. It's because you're all in the same boyfriend hand jibber club. Gary's in there giving fucking hand jibbers to each one of them. Every fucking one of them. It's insane. And we all know this. And when you go ahead and look at who's using, the Fed Now program right off the bat, it's all the fucking bad actors. JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all the good big top banks. So there's going to be some corruption going on in this. They're going to go ahead and say, they'll probably do some payments, process some payments that they shouldn't process or can't process. And then all of a sudden, it'll be a glitch. And that's what they're glitches. We shouldn't have been able to, there was a glitch. Instead, that's how they'll be, maybe move some shit around. The classic goods. But this is all towards what I was showing you guys. They just want to fucking get their CBDCs in. It's all about control. I already showed you India already has programmable CBDCs where they can make it so you can and cannot buy certain products. Well, I want you guys to listen to this little clip here real quick.
Forms of physical currency, you can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like, say, ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC.
And that's just what I've been showing you guys forever.
The downside of governments being able to track digitally every single product or service you buy and sell is chilling.
The third way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability.
Have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip to be implanted under your skin.
I mean, this, what is going on is just fucking insanity, dude. These guys literally look down upon it. Like, we're fucking ants to them. We're nothing. Like I said, it's 1000% conquering a nation through debt. That is what they're doing. And they're going to keep on doing it farther and farther and farther and farther until we fucking stand up. Now, the Virgin Island in this case with JP Morgan, we're going to get into JP Morgan, some banks, and the losses that they're taking. And I want you guys, everything I'm showing you with this stuff, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I don't believe they're going to be able to get their CBDCs in place. I don't. This is what they want to have happen. They want to be able to control all fucking money, all aspects through everything. They want to be able to say what you can and cannot have. They want you to, everybody thought I was joking around when I showed you guys the fucking implant thing on their fucking, under the hand. Hey, here's your implant. You'll pay with it through this shit. They already have an RFID chip that is able to do that. On top of that, now you have Amazon's coming out talking about Whole Foods. Well, they're going to be able to use fucking hand scanners. And it's going to go in there and it's going to scan your veins and all this stuff. And if you fingerprint your shit and all this stuff. And knowing them, they'll be able to put some technology in there that's going to go ahead and get your levels, your all this stuff so they can track your vitals, this, that, what you're eating, what you're buying, what it's doing to your body. You know, for the conspiracy theorists out there, if they're poisoning you or whatever you want to say, this is the way they can track the effects. It's just stuff like that where it's like, why the fuck do I need to walk over and scan a goddamn thing? Like, isn't this the point of a card? And then all they say is this, well, by going through this and going through your veins and everything, nobody else can have the same stuff, and it's more accurate than fingerprinting and all this stuff. And that's what they're going to do. It's always for your safety. It's just for your safety. We need to do more stuff for your safety. We need to restrict things. It's all for your safety. You guys don't know how to spend money. You're too stupid. Meanwhile, the people telling you don't know how to spend money, the people at the banks that decide if you can or cannot have a loan, all are indebted within fucking insane amounts of debt themselves. It's just a fucking gong show right now. But going over back to this, you have the Virgin Island. That court case is finally coming up here, and they're looking for apparently 190 million. So that would put a total of 480 million for JP Morgan for doing human trafficking. And after doing that, paying that off, and they get away with human trafficking. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. No one will go to prison. Nothing happens. JP Morgan doesn't get shut down. They're still trading. They're still fucking stealing. They're still doing illegal things. I showed you guys that they had 239 acceptance waivers and consents signed. Within 2 weeks, they jumped up to 265 acceptance waivers and consents. They broke that many crimes in that amount of time, signed off on them all saying, well, you know, we know that there was a crime, but we didn't do it. And all of those crimes are gone now. It's over with. Fuck them. And they're settling with all these, I mean, fucking JP, fucking trash Morgan. I can't believe there are people out there, like fucking Bill Ackman. Oh, Jamie Dimon, he would be such a great president. Yeah, a guy that takes payments for fucking, I'm not even going to get into fucking JP Morgan right now. We're going to get to them later and the losses they're taking. Fuck JP Morgan. So, but this is what I was trying to get at here as well. Like I went into last stream here. The one thing that these guys and this greed that they have, the reason it's going to collapse them and everything else around them is you need a fucking middle class. You have to. If you don't have a middle class, who the fuck is shopping at all your companies? No one. Poor people can't afford it. You have no middle class now, so rich people, well, the rich people, they don't spend money. They don't spend their own money, or if they do it, they're going to these high-class fucking bullshit things that no one cares about, thinking they're all good because, oh, I got this super brand. Good for you, no one cares. But all the other companies that these guys own, no one's fucking spending money there. You now look over at, like I said, with the housing fucking market. The housing market is at such a complete standstill. Like, it is stopped. It is standing still. Less and less homes are being sold. Nobody can afford them. We already looked at the rates are going to raise again. They already talked about it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder to get a home loan. They already showed you that banks are taking losses. They're taking losses every time they give out home loans. Well, why are people building new houses? They're not gonna. This is all starting to slow down. It's all going to have a massive effect throughout your economy. You cannot continuously fuck every single sector. And when a sector has to burst, it has to burst. The only reason why the housing market right now hasn't collapsed, the only reason why is because all these people that would be selling houses, the ones that you would be able to afford, they're locked in at 2%. They're not going to fucking sell their house. And if they would, they'd have to sell it to where it's no longer affordable because they need to make up the difference on what they're going to pay on their new fucking loan and their interest. I mean, it's literally retarded right now. Everything is at a standstill, and everybody has less and less and less assets to go out and get these loans. Look at this. This is now everybody, they're saying people's bank accounts. They're down 41% from 2021. They're talking about this being down from the pandemic levels. When people were fucked and needed bailout from pandemics, they're even lower than that. You are literally destroying your fucking middle class. And that's taking away the bank's deposits. And see, this is their problem. There's always a domino effect. And it's always going to keep adding up and up and up. And eventually they come down, one little kid comes down, they make some rule and they stop it with their hand. But it's going to fucking keep falling down because there's a ton of wind pressure going on. Eventually it's going to keep knocking down. They can't keep sweeping shit under the rug. Eventually, every fucking corner under the rug, it's full. What is happening right now, the other reason it's not fucking collapsed is you have Wall Street buying these fucking houses. BlackRock buying these houses. Well, guess what? They're buying these houses at the most inflated prices. So now what they're doing is buying these assets that are going to fucking drop. They have to drop. So they're going to have unrealized losses down the road on all of these fucking houses they're buying. But we already saw they plan on trying to own 40% of all single-family unit homes. Their goal is to make you rent and pay, like I said, you will not own because owning is freedom. And if they cannot allow you to own, they will always control you. Well, if I have them renting for us forever, if we buy up all the houses and we control the majority, we control the market. We won't let the market fall. Fuck them. We bought these houses at this high, so we won't let the market fall. Like I said, the housing market right now is a complete fucking disaster. It's a complete fucking disaster. And it won't get any better until it pops. It has nowhere else to go right now. It is so inflated. Like I said, the only reason it's so inflated that it can't pop. That's how fucked up it is. But when you guys look at these quarter results, and if you guys look at these banks, and everybody, I know we all look at these stocks, and I've been showing you, even Virtue, all of these guys as companies, they're all going down. All of these guys as revenue, they're all taking hits. And soon, they're going to have all this real estate hits. We already showed you guys there's trillions upcoming in real estate, and they already said that they're not going to, tons of this, hundreds of billions of this is not going to be renewed. They can't afford it. They're already behind and defaulting on hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars on fucking back rent. It's going to smash these guys into the ground. But I want you guys to look at some of these numbers. Goldman Sachs, net income, minus 58%. Citigroup, minus 36%. Morgan Stanley, minus 12%. Goldman Sachs right now is getting fucked in every single corner. Goldman Sachs, they already said they were going to report this. And on top of that, they have, before I get to these guys, where the fuck is my, hold on. They have another billion loss in real estate. And this is what I'm talking about. These real estate hits are going to keep mounting and mounting and mounting for these fucking pieces of shit. And I already showed you. They're living off credit cards right now, you guys. They are borrowing from the federal home loan program to use as assets. You have banks out there that are borrowing and using a credit card and claiming that credit card is 130% of their assets. JP Morgan. You remember when he said, fucking what's his dumb ass name? Kramer. Stupid Kramer goes, JP Morgan's a fucking fortress. And not only that, watch this. Not only that, I think it's like what? Like last week. Where's this stupid douchebag? Look at, yeah, see? She's eating psychedelic mushrooms. We got fucking yelling old going over to China eating fucking shrooms. I mean, this shit is ridiculous, dude. Like here was that digital ID I was talking about, dude. Like I said, this shit is insanity. Where the fuck is it? We're going to get into the writer's strike here in a minute, too. Here. 6 days ago. Loving JP Morgan. Of course you are. You're a fucking piece of shit. Now let's go ahead and let's look at JP Morgan and let's break down how fucked JP Morgan was. JP Morgan. Profits jump on the fucking First Republic deal. So, they needed the bailout from the First Republic deal. $200 billion exit JP Morgan Chase in 1 year as customers withdraw cash amid U.S. banking concern. People are fucking figuring out these banks are fucking Ponzi schemes. They're figuring out exactly what I've told you. The treasury bonds they're 5.5%. Why would you stay at a bank at 0.4%? When I could go to a treasury fucking and get 5.5%. There's no reason to stay in banks. The banks cannot afford to raise the rates. The greed has already fucking hit them. It's like every Ponzi scheme ever. The second it gets too greedy, the second too many people start pulling out, it goes downhill, it collapses. Yeah, they can keep finding sources of money that they hit over here, over there, can borrow from this over this because they still got some fucking credit, but eventually they're just draining on fucking credit. As I showed you here, the fucking feds the government doesn't give a shit. They're going to be paying over $1 trillion in interest next quarter to treasury bond holders. $1 trillion. A fucking trillion. And it's going to keep going. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're going to keep on fucking spending. They're going to keep printing. Inflation cannot get under control because the issues are not getting fucking solved. As a matter of fact, they're getting worse. They spent $1.2 trillion now in 6 weeks. What the hell? 1.2 trillion in 6 weeks on what? Backed programs. On backed fucking programs that they already promised. On bullshit. They're gonna keep print, and they're gonna keep fucking hand gibbering, blowjobbing people in the back. They don't give a fuck. Like I said, this shit is insanity. It's greed, and greed will collapse it. It's already fucking collapsing it. JP Morgan not only was gifted for all the best loans because they needed the loans or they were fucked. They got tax breaks. It went from 3.4 all the way up to 17.7. What the fuck? More bailouts. JP Morgan Chase. They're announcing layoffs. Whenever you see layoffs to make up more profits, they're fucked. Where's my fucking Citigroup? Those fucking tool bags. Citigroup. And I just showed you Citi. Negative 36%. Citigroup. They're trying to make up for it by fucking laying off 5,000 people. But guess what? Compensations or benefits are up for the bigwigs. 14%. We're going to keep giving our guys fucking bigger bonuses for mismanaging all of our fucking bank. But hey, we got to lay off 5,000 people or they're not going to be able to afford those fucking bonus raises. How's retail beat this? We just keep buying and fucking holding. Let them eat themselves because this is what I'm showing you. They're taking fucking hits everywhere because they're giving obligations left and right. They can't fucking fill. They can't. They can't fill these. Look it. They're taking more fucking hits. Every which way I'm showing you, they're taking fucking hits because they have killed everything. Everything that they need to fund. It's a Ponzi scheme. If you don't have Peter to pay Paul, I have to pay Paul. Well, I don't want to pay Paul. So I'm going to go borrow from a credit card. Now that fucker can pay Paul. I'm not paying Paul. That's all these fucking guys think. And I'm going to keep finding a new source to not pay Paul myself. Well, eventually, Peter needs his money. You don't have anything to pay him, but he's got more money coming. What are you going to do? You can't keep taking billion-dollar losses and going, taxpayers, we need more billions and billions and billions and billions while you guys can't fucking eat. Eventually, too many people go, what the fuck is going on? I can't eat, but I just saved $1 billion bank? Why are we saving these banks? They need to go. Too big to fail needs to go. Because what happens if JP Morgan Chase fucking goes under? A lot of corruption ends. A lot of corrupt companies that shouldn't exist go under. Good. They shouldn't fucking exist anyways. Why do I give a fuck? And guess what that does? That opens up competition to the United States all over again. And guess what? We're all on equal grounds again. And we could, now you can have all these small businesses come back up and middle class, can't have that. We got to have it all funneled to one cocksucker named Jamie Dimon. While he's out there funneling fucking children. While he's out there fucking funneling humans. Because he's a fucking waste of space piece of fucking shit that we want to make president. What? What? He needs to be hung from a fire. Okay, I can't say that. He needs to be punished to the full extent of the law that a pedophile would do, and a fucking trafficker would go through, and all these other guys. But he doesn't, because what happens in the United States? We didn't get rid of slavery. We didn't. I just showed you last week. We didn't get rid of slavery. You want me to prove it? I just showed you guys this last fucking week. All we did with slavery was we got rid of it in the United States and we outsourced it to other countries through our fucking corporations. And now we wiped our hands clean of it because we can go, hey, we didn't do anything. It was the company. Okay, well, if the company is doing slave labor, they need to go away. That's it. And not only do they do slave labor, watch how fucking crazy this is. Right after they get caught doing fucking slave labor, they go, fuck it. We're going to make it more expensive too. Now that we just beat our child slave labor case, we need to raise prices. We got to raise prices. Because we got away with it again. And every time we get away with this shit, we're going to raise prices. But these fucking kids, I mean, go read these fucking lawsuits. It's all over the place. But we wipe our hands clean and say, well, there's no slavery in fucking America. But yet, we benefit off that slave labor because those corporations can charge us less prices, they say. But guess what? They don't charge you less prices. They just get more profits. And then they go, well, we might have to raise it. No, you might have to have fucking American workers and have the factories fucking here and have a better economy. But no, you don't want to do that. You want us all down there and you guys all up here. Like I said, the shit's a fucking joke. But just like all great empires, they're stealing, they're filling obligations, they're doing shit they can't fucking afford to do, and eventually it becomes too much. And it will fucking catch up to you. Right now, that rug is 10 feet off the ground, and it's just under its dirt. And they're holding up a tarp right in front of it and going, there's nothing to see here. Eventually, the fucking dirt pile's too damn high. You can't get a tarp that high. Or even if you do, people are going to go, what the hell's that big? I've already shown you the fucking debt. I've shown you how many quadrillions are in the fucking derivatives market. You can't hide it. It's quadrillions. There's not even that much in the world. There's more in the fucking derivatives market in the world by like 5 times over. And they're still stealing. And it's still going on. They're going to crash themselves because this system is, like I said, you can't have a Ponzi scheme if you take Peter away. Who's going to pay Paul? Now what they're going to do is exactly what I was saying before. They're going to start taking from each other, middle banks, just like First Republic. That's all they can do. The only people that have money to support their criminals, fucking nefarious shit going forward, is other rich people. Well, what happens when you start taking from other rich people? Lawyers get involved. Shit comes out. Finger pointing comes out. And that's what's been going on left and right. And it'll get harder and worse and fucking worse. And exactly what I was saying with this treasury. The treasury rates are going to go higher and higher and higher. And by doing that, you are literally destroying the system that you fucking built in banking. Because you're literally removing the point of the bank itself. Well, if you take away the product of a Ponzi scheme, what the fuck? The Ponzi scheme's gonna crash. There's no other option. What are you selling? You're selling the bank trust. Well, the bank trust is gone in the entire United States. The banking trust is fucking gone. That is why people are running the fucking way from it. This is why it blows my mind. You have people sitting there telling me, you are a bad actor and you're a shill. You're a fucking handicapped retard if you think that. You are the dumbest fucking piece of shit on earth. I have showed you guys the way to win this. I have showed you the system itself from 2.5 years ago. I was the one who showed everyone payment for fucking order flow, the OTC market, all of this shit, internalization, all this fucking crap to get out of the banks. I showed you the banks were the ones supporting them through ISDA, all of this shit. I'm telling you how to beat the system. Without understanding the system, you can't fucking beat it. But nobody wants to understand the system. They say, who cares about the macro? It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is Adam Aaron did this today, and he didn't come out and bitch and whine and moan. What matters is my stock raised 5 fucking cents or it went down 20. Who gives a fuck? And 2 days later, it goes right back up. It's where they want it to be pinned right now. If you haven't figured that out by now, I don't know what more to say. They're going to control it until they can't. And they fucking can't. Right now, once again, they're borrowing off credit cards. All of these banks who back all of these hedge funds are borrowing off fucking credit cards. If the banks are borrowing off credit cards and they're borrowing from the banks, you got fucking AMC right now, borrow rate. And everyone goes, well, it doesn't fucking matter. It's over 1,053%. And it just dropped down to 943. It's the highest borrow rate in the entire stock market. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's been on the threshold list for 18 days. They are once again doing what I told you. They're playing hot potato with credit cards. What they're doing is, hey, my day's almost up. My time's up. I got to pass it to another guy. Will you take these obligations if I pay you a fee? Sure, I'll take the obligations. Now the time runs out, and they'll wait a little bit longer and they'll pass it to another guy. And that's how they can stay in Rachel for 30 fucking days. But again, you're passing obligations, and eventually they have to get filled or you can't come off this fucking list. They're fucked. Like I said, they're literally fucked. Every which way, they're fucked. Everything is at a standstill or collapsing, or their corporations or their companies are getting fucked. You have to have a middle class. You have to. There's no fucking way for the United States economy to operate without a middle class. They need a digital dollar because they've destroyed and printed so fucking much. We showed you guys 80%. 80 fucking percent of all US dollars were fucking recently printed a couple of years ago. They just fucking printed by the trillions. Where did inflation come from? Your printing machine, dumbass. And in the meantime, we're throwing away $1 trillion in interest, and they don't give a fuck. Like I said, every major empire, all these fucking people, the one thing they can't stop, I don't care how fucking big the thing is, the one thing they can't stop is their personal fucking greed. And it always gets too big. It always gets too big. Some of the things I want... So, I mean, I feel like you guys are in agreement with me on this Dr. Shiva thing. And if we're not going to do the interview, I want you guys to at least hear my questions that I was going to ask him. Because I thought these are going to be very informative questions for you guys. And just getting his perspective would have been insanely beneficial. So, one of the questions I was going to ask him was going to be, what do you think? Because a lot of people, you know, they ask me how we can combat this other than this. Number one way to combat this, get the fuck out of an ISDA bank. I can't keep saying it. If you listen to me right now and you still have, I don't care if you have $7 in your fucking Wells Fargo, your fucking JP Morgan, stop fucking depositing money in it tomorrow. Go open a new checking account at a new bank with your next paycheck and go from there. There's no fucking excuse. I've already showed you. If you have $5, they can leverage it 100 times by rehypothecation. So now they got 500. And if you have 1,000, they can go ahead and do it 100 times. I've already shown you guys this through articles and court cases. So every fucking penny counts. Get it out of there. If you have a credit card, pay it the fuck off. If it's through one of these banks, pay it off. Take away their collateral. It's that fucking simple. Take away their assets, take away their collateral. You know what their asset is? You. You're their asset. That's it. You apparently trusting them with your money. You're their asset, you're their product, you're their everything. You matter more than you think. Get the fuck out of these things. If you don't know how to play options, stop fucking playing them. They have been pinning you guys for max pain for fucking almost 2.5 years straight. And I've pointed this out, and people are still getting smashed through max fucking pain or play max pain. You guys, I mean, if you don't understand the Greeks, don't play options. If you don't know what you're doing, go take take a week to just go watch videos and learn all about option trading. Stop playing into the hands that feed them money. It's that simple. Every time you give JP Morgan Chase a penny, you are funneling them doing sex trafficking, human trafficking, drug smuggling, money laundering, stealing from the fucking market, mismarking tickets as shorts as longs, spoofing the gold market. They're backing hedge funds who are all fucking criminals who are against you. If you're in JP Morgan and you're following and you're listening right now, I don't want you in my fucking channel anymore. Get the fuck, I don't care if you have a penny in there. Get the fuck out of my stream. Don't come back until you get the fuck out. I'm done telling you how to beat them. It's like I'm beating a fucking I'm beating a fucking tree and nothing's happening. You guys, you're funding criminal activities by staying in these fucking banks. The FDIC, I've shown you every reason to get out of them on top of that. The FDIC is broke. I just showed you they were broke in the last stream. They're literally going to ask banks for more money that they don't fucking have to try to replenish their account that they don't have. Credit unions do not use FDIC. Get the fuck out of these banks, guys. Just get out of them. It's very simple. You have more power than you think. You really do. If 30 million people walked up to these ISDA banks and 30 million people pulled every penny they had out, guess what? That would fuck them pretty damn hard. You know another way to stick it up their ass. I've told you guys this every time, and people actually argue with me on this. You want them to you also want to say fuck you to the shorts? Make AMC profitable. Go see a fucking movie. If you're not going to go see a movie, buy a ticket online. Don't go. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Buy popcorn. Go to Walmart if there's one around you. Support the living fuck out of your investment. The fact that I have to tell people to support their investment and they look at me and go, you're a shill because you want the company to succeed. It's the most mind-blowing thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. If I was talking to any other person about any other fucking play in the world, one of the advices I would say is look at the company fundamentally. Are they making profits? I mean, the fact people say fundamentals, profits, none of that matters in any way, shape, or form isn't fucking sanity. The people that are against this conversion, now they're trying to do this bullshit with the fucking... with the writers and the actors. We got to strike. We got to go on strike. We got to make it so that we got to delay all these movies. Deadpool 3. We got to delay all the movies now coming out. We got to try and fuck them down the road long term. This is more bad news we want to go ahead and put out there. More bullshit. For the first time since 1960. Perfect timing. You mean right as the lawsuit's about to come to an end, you're now striking? Like I said, timing is fucking everything. The second they announce FedNow, the same fucking day, they announced those stupid hand scanning things that I just showed you at the 500 food stores. I mean, if you guys want me to do a video on options, I can do a video on options. I just felt like I've never done one because there's like 20 billion videos on options, and I feel like that's the first thing every YouTuber does. Come watch me do option plays. But if you want me to show you about them, I can definitely make a video on them. I more like to talk about the corruption and the bullshit going on, because this shit's gotta fucking end, dude. This has to end. Like, right now, the only way that these guys have the ability to keep this going is through printing, and that means more inflation, which means more fucking rates to raise. They're in a death spiral, which means the government's going to have to spend fucking more, which means the treasuries are going to have to go up, which means the banks have to collapse. There's no fucking other way around this. And I know I talked about this with Phase 6, but I did tell you with Phase 6, that if it was so fucking bad, other countries would just say fuck it and run away. And that would be my worst case scenario, doomsday. And they did that. And the dollar, they're getting away from the dollar. And if that doesn't tell you how fucked these banks are, how bad we're hurting, how bad they're taking losses on the back end, on shit you also don't even know about. I showed you last stream, the FDIC went in and did a report, did an audit on all the banks and found an additional $205 billion in hidden losses. Not on their fucking, not unrealized losses. 205 billion in hidden losses. Shit they tried to hide. And that was 4 banks. That was 4 banks have 205 in hidden losses. What the fuck do all of the banks have? $1 trillion? So I'm saying, these guys are beyond fucked. There's so much, it is so fucking insane. I don't think there's a way to recover. And the second I told you guys, you're going to start seeing the reverse repos drop. We were at 2.1 trillion. We're now down to 1.76. That's a pretty fucking big drop in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. They're all going to continuously run to this fucking treasury bond market. And for a while there, I said to myself, I didn't want to advise anybody to run to the treasury market, because if they were ever going to default, the government was ever going to default, it was when we all owned the treasury bonds. But at the same time, if all these big corporations are running into the treasury bonds as well, and that's who they're protecting, well, they can't default on the treasury bonds or they will fuck up all their corporations and all their fucking people who are bribing them. So a lot of people are asking me, do you feel safe about treasury bonds? I feel a lot safer seeing that the corruption and the fucking criminality is running over to them. If they all of a sudden started leaving the treasury market, yeah, I'd feel concerned. But right now, no, at that type of a rate, I mean, not financial advice, but yeah, I feel like that's a pretty safe bet right now. But like I said, it's nothing but passing shit around. Everybody's living on federal home loan programs, all fucking aids, credit cards. Like I said, guys, they can't, I know you've heard it forever, but you can't keep taking fucking hundreds of billions losses. You can't keep fucking taking negative quarters this. You can't keep getting bailed out by getting other fucking banks. I mean, I don't know how much more proof I have to show you guys. All of these banks, this banking crisis was to bail out JP Morgan. JP Morgan would have collapsed, and it should have collapsed. And it should have fucking collapsed. And instead, they had to do some more bullshit, and they had to fucking bail them out. But like I said, the fact that they're taking these hits, the fact that they're hurting this bad, shows it's fucking working. Everything we're doing is fucking working. Fuck this pieces of trash. TikTok, motherfuckers. Alright. Now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check out all the chat, because I haven't looked at the chat like this whole time. And I apologize. I haven't talked for like 3 days. My mouth has been hurting, so I had to rant. I had to get this out. But like I said, guys, these guys, they're taking fucking losses in every which way. Real estate's coming up. I already showed you there's trillions in real estate. What are they going to do when they have trillions coming in losses? There's not going to be enough bailouts for these fuckers. Like I said, their main goal, I told you, I knew Fed now was going to get in, but their main goal was they broke it so bad they needed CBDCs in to maybe get a way out. And I just don't see it happening. I just don't see them getting their CBDCs in. I really fucking don't. There's no way. Carvana, well, I mean, if we get this reverse split, yes, AMC will pay off a shit ton of debt. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it still blows my mind. People cannot comprehend the fact that these predatory fucking short sellers control AMC's finances. They're in the back and controlling everything they can and cannot do. They haven't even restrictions on how much money they can and cannot have, and what they can and cannot spend it on, and where it's got to go first. They're in your pocket. Your enemy is deciding your guys' finances. And the only way to get them out is to fucking raise the capital to buy off their fucking bonds. We gotta get these pieces of shit out of there. I mean, one of the things I've said forever, I mean, for the first day, and this is the problem with the movement, is no matter what, people don't, like, nobody trusts anybody has good intentions in this movement. Like, nobody thinks there's one individual, even at all, that has good intentions in this movement. So anybody that suddenly, like, hey, I mean, think about this. If I'm a company, I mean, truly think about this. If I'm a company and I'm the majority stakeholder, what do? I put somebody on the board so I have a seat at the table. I know everything that's going on and I have a fucking say. But the second I brought up, hey, try and get an ape on the board, and I wasn't even talking about me at the time. I just said we need to get somebody on the board so we have a fucking seat at the table, you know? And everybody, well, you're just chasing clout. You just want, it's like, dude, you have guys that have a shit ton of money, and it's been years. And I mean, all these grifters, if you think I'm a grifter at this point, I don't know what to tell you. If I was a grifter, or if I was taking money from Adam Aaron, why wouldn't I take it from anyone else? Why would I say to myself, only take money from Adam Aaron? Don't take it from sponsors. Don't do all that other bullshit. Don't get signed up with all this shit and do all this other crap. Why would I not have done all that? But I would only take money from Adam Aaron. Like I said, if Adam Aaron gets fired tomorrow, you won't see me shed one fucking tear. I don't give a fuck. And I'm not saying make somebody the CEO, but the fact that people couldn't comprehend that we should have gotten somebody on the fucking board just to have, you know, some insight, say something, blew my fucking mind. I said it's like the first thing companies do when they get a majority investment, and that's what we as a community need to start coming together and doing. Like, we don't have a common goal. We just fucking, we have like 15 clicks in this community, and half the clicks are instead of spending time, like, this is why I hate Ethan and Al from Boston and all these fucking tards. Instead of spending time fighting the enemy, you're trying to discredit people that are putting out information, and you're trying to fight the movement. You're fighting your own movement. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I'm doing it for the movement. I'm fighting the movement for the movement. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Wells Fargo's getting fucked up like I just showed everybody. I mean, you guys, losses, people are getting fired left and fucking right. I mean, this is just insanity. I mean, they need to close cases for 50 years because it was that fucking bad. I mean, like I said, guys, we're not wrong. We're not wrong about this shit. I mean, every single day there's a new article to show you we weren't fucking wrong. The only thing we were wrong about is just how deep that swamp went, because everyone is fucking in on it. You never realize how much these fucking scum piece of shit bankers, fucking criminals, actually had their hands in goddamn everything. Think about this. Think about this before you were in this movement. How many of you even knew who BlackRock was? Let alone the fact that BlackRock owns every single company in the entire United States. If it's publicly traded, they own you, or they own a part of you. How many of you even knew who the fuck BlackRock was? Who the fuck even knew who Jamie Dimon was? I mean, that's the thing. They talk about criminals and the crimes, the best crimes are the things and the people that do it right in front of your face. And that's what they do. They're the biggest criminals, and they're right in front of your face doing it. And then they smile and tell you it's for your own benefit. What? A human trafficked those people for their own benefit because they were homeless. Or you know? Really? Interesting. And that's the thing. These pieces of shit will always fucking find it. Oh, I'm doing this for your benefit. I do it for you. You don't know how to handle money. You're not good with this. You're not as good with me. Well, look at my credentials. Look at my background. Let me manage your portfolio. Let me manage your money. Ask Michael Jordan how good that worked out for him. Hey, Michael, let me manage your money. Let me get you a massive loss. Hey, Michael, guess what? I'm going to buy your team from you now that I fucked you in the ass. Let me get your team from you. Oh, okay. Good deal. You basically stole his fucking team. Good job. Impressive. I mean, if Michael Jordan's not even exempt from this shit. Like I said, it's fucking insanity. The reverse split doesn't mean they'll pay off debt. The reverse split is literally fucking means they'll pay off debt. You do not do a 10-to-1 reverse split to get it to a price like that to not pay off debt. You do that, you do a 10-to-1 split to raise a large amount of capital. Otherwise, he could have done it way smaller. He's doing the 10-to-1 split to get it to a price where he can sell shares and raise billions. And use those billions to pay down debt. Probably open up some more theaters. They could go ahead and explore new revenue streams that they currently can't do because they can't fucking afford it. Everyone wants him to get profitable. Well, it's kind of hard to get profitable when you're limited to what you can and cannot spend and what you can and cannot make on revenue. And the people that are supposed to be supporting your company are telling you, hey, if you want me to support your company, you're a shill. Yeah, okay. I've given you enough of my money. You've never given your investment enough money because you've invested in it. So all of your money depends on that investment. It's not like, hey, I bought in fucking 2.5 years ago. I've done my job. Well, if it was that easy, we would have squeezed in everyone, would have squeezed in every other fucking stock that we catch these pieces of shit on. Because it's not like it's just AMC, but I think AMC is by far the biggest. I think there's nothing out there even close to it. I don't think there's anything out there even remotely close to AMC. They're fucking swaps. They're back-end bullshit. BDRs. The BDRs alone are a fucking complete fucking joke. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the problem. You know how to buy stock, and a lot of these people don't know any of these people. And that's why it's like, I know we think that there's a shit ton of people, but it's not like fucking... Yeah, there's 3 million apes, but they don't all follow me. It's not like they all know the information that I give out every day. There might be 3 million apes, but they only still follow their certain group. They only still get exposed to certain information just like everyone else. And that's why I say all the time, when you watch these videos, don't just comment on it. Don't just go share that information with people. It's that important because you sharing it with one person that didn't know, maybe he goes and shares it with somebody he didn't know. And then they go and they go and they go and it spreads like wildfire. We have to wake everybody up. That is exactly what Hopper said in A Bug Life. If one ant stands up to us, they realize they all can. And if they all can, they outnumber us 1 fucking million to 1. We would destroy them. Like I said, these people... Imagine what our forefathers would have done right now. The American Revolution happened for something less than what happens on a daily basis in a matter of 10 seconds in the United States. Because every fucking second, there's taxation without representation. Every 10 seconds, they're stealing billions and billions in the back end. They're printing more money. They're stealing from you. They're stealing from your children. Because guess what? Inflation is just basically stealing from you. Every time they raise the national debt, it's just stealing from you. It's spending money we don't need to be spending it on. If you had a government, and I mean, I've said this every time, if they wanted to fix any of this stuff, they can. Look how I showed you guys about the Treasury thing. I told you everyone's going to run to the Treasury bonds, and they're going to put a rule in place where nobody can run away from the Treasury bonds. And that's exactly what they fucking did. They put it out in 2 days. In a matter of 2 fucking days. They got that entire law written and passed in 2 fucking days. Because they needed to. Because they wanted to. The things they want to get done will get done. The things that they want that will hurt them, just like the CAT system, just like fucking Credit Suisse, they push them away for fucking years. They push them out and out and out. And then they sit there and like I said, I mean, look at this. They're trying to fucking stall big movies that are coming out. Hey, let's all go on strike. The only way to fuck up AMC, random that they go after movie theater companies. Huh. Perfect timing. Like I said, go support the shit out of AMC. If you don't want the conversion, fine. Don't do the conversion. Just make sure AMC is profitable every fucking quarter then going forward. And they can pay their debt off just like you want them to. And it's going to take a long time and you're going to have to hold. If you don't want the conversion, that is what you need to have happen. You need them to get profitable. So start fucking advertising every movie you see. Start buying popcorn, start telling your friends to, and start supporting your company instead of fighting it. It's just crazy. Jamie, why don't they buy the stock? I don't know or care. I don't give a shit why somebody else does or does not buy something. I'm not that person. I don't care what they do or do not believe. I know what I know, and I know what I believe. I'm not going to make a judgment because fucking 5-10 people didn't buy a stock. I could care less about those fucking 5-10 people. Make my company profitable. That's what I need them to do. People, like I said, people put so much focus on little things like that. Oh, everything's fucked. They got to be against us because they're not buying stock. Yes, that's the only reason. That's the only fucking proof that we need. They didn't buy. Rich, do you have any proof? The Antera vote, the Antera vote, if you think that's collusion, you're an idiot. If you're a company and you're a CEO and you go, hey, I need to raise this capital and this is the best thing and this is beneficial for my company and this ensures it and you're one of our fucking lenders and I need your vote. How is that collusion on him trying to do something beneficial to be able to raise capital for his fucking company? What's up, Phil? And proof, that's the thing, man. I show people proof all the time and they still tell me I'm wrong. It's just, people will believe what they want to fucking believe. So I'm saying, man, you guys want to sit there and fucking follow Al from Boston, these guys getting slapped around by judges left and right, getting harassed. I don't know if you guys saw that. There was a clip where that Ethan guy said he texted Adam Aaron and harassed him to where Adam Aaron told him that if he fucking contacted him again, Ethan contacts him again, he's gonna fucking, there's gonna be legal trouble. And I was just laughing. I'm like, okay. This is who people are following. Shit cracks me up, man. It's not his company, it's our company. It's his job to run the company as CEO. It's his job as CEO to do what he believes is best beneficial for the company. If you don't believe his model or his ideas are good, it's your right to vote him out. It is not up for us to say, like I said, you say how he can run it and how he can't. You can have a vote to say get him out. But like I said, he's the fucking CEO. His job is to run the company. What about the mining company? Well, he said it was going to be profitable, a great investment down the road. It looks like it's doing a lot better today. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that mining company until I see what happens with the mining company. Has he sold today? Did he take a loss? Does he still own the shares? Is the mining company going under? Are they bankrupt? Are they still in business? Until they go bankrupt, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, if Adam Aaron doesn't go, if he's not CEO tomorrow, I'm not going to shed a tear. I don't care. I just need a CEO who's fucking doing everything he can do to get revenue, get this profitable. He needs to start closing down theaters that are not performing. He needs to get, if he does raise this capital from a conversion, he needs to make sure he spends it right. If he doesn't spend it right, I'll be the first one to say he's a piece of shit. If you're gonna raise billions, you better spend it on that fucking debt. I'm not too sure how we would estimate the credit card numbers. I was honestly actually pretty interested to see what that's gonna do on the next quarter there. I'm not too sure about credit cards, to be honest with you. I didn't really see like a breakdown on if they like what the deal was, their percentage. I'm not too sure about credit cards actually. Well, like I said, man, you're all the fucking majority owners. If you don't think he's ran it right, find somebody else you think will. It's very simple. But I'm not sure here, so maybe I'll talk to that Shiva guy and say, hey, if you don't want to do any advertisement, just have a conversation, we can do that. But I don't really feel comfortable fucking doing all that ad and stuff. Like I said, that's pretty much where he kind of lost me on that one. I'm like, why are we doing all that for a fucking interview that you approached me on? Tooth's better now, man. I had a lot of my nerves in my tooth were dead, so I had an infection in there, and he said I didn't feel it because all those nerves were dead. But then they did a root canal, and that infection got into my mouth, dude. It looked like a fucking grapefruit was in my mouth, dude. It was painful. It sucked ass, but I'm better now. That's why I'm talkative as hell, because I haven't really said a word in days. Honestly, I'm not too sure about Highcroft. I don't really have too much feelings on Highcroft. I haven't really looked into it. We've been on the threshold list now for 18 days. But like I said, they just passed it, so they got themselves some more time. But again, they're just playing hot potato. And like eventually somebody ends up with the potato. Phil. I sound like I'm from Boston. I'm from Minnesota, dude. Me and this Murph dog, we're up north here. Right, buddy? Oh, Murph. I don't know when the reverse split is. We gotta wait for the judge here. Still waiting on the judge. But that's the thing. I mean, the judge knows she's got to be costing us money and costing the company money the longer she waits. So I can't believe she's already taken this fucking long, to be honest with you. I thought we would have had her ruling by like the 11th or 12th. I mean, that was literally a gong show of a fucking court hearing. That was a gong show. They had nothing the whole time. It was so retarded. Well, maybe I'll contact Dr. Shiva here then. See if I can't reschedule if he wants to. If I have to fucking add, if I have to add for him, then I'll just cancel it all together. But we'll see what he wants to do here then. I mean, I use Fidelity, man. That's the only thing I use. As long as I can direct route to a lit exchange, that's all I care about when I order. Because they're all fucking corrupt. Every one of these brokers are corrupt. They're all fucking corrupt, dude. Which one's a little less? I think Fidelity has their own clearinghouse, so if Fidelity, anything happens with them, they can't blame somebody like these other brokers were able to fucking blame, what was it? That was that clearinghouse. I can't remember it's right on the tip of my tongue. God damn it. It was the clearinghouse Weeble used. I can't think of their fucking name for some reason. Look it up now. It's like Apex or whatever. Yeah, Apex, duh. So they were able to blame it on Apex Clearing before, and at least Fidelity uses their own clearinghouse, so they can't be like, oh, well, this other company. Nope, you guys cleared it yourself with your own company, so your own company, if it's clearing it, should be able to fucking make sure you're good to go. So I feel like maybe they're the safest, and on top of that, I can direct route, so my buy orders, which is huge to me. That's the other thing we need to be doing. We need to be direct routing our shares to a lit exchange so we get the fuck out of payment for order flow and we actually have buying pressure on the stock. Yeah, Apex. I thought it was Apex, but I was like thinking of the video game. I'm like, it's not Apex. Yep, Apex. Good old Apex, man. But yeah, I mean, that's why I use Fidelity, just because they literally can't blame anyone else. So if I get to sue, I can sue them, and they can't fucking use anybody else to be liable. You're banning Richie, Philip? Whoa. I didn't even see what he said. Well, like I said, guys, you really want AA out? I'm not going to shed a tear. But who are you going to put in for him? This is what I asked every single person that ever says I need AA out. Well, who are you going to put in? Who are you going to put in that retail's going to trust? I mean, start throwing names out there. If you got some names to throw out there that you think would be better, I'm not against fucking changing anything. I don't care. They said, I don't care who's CEO as long as they're doing their job as making the company as profitable as they can. That's their fucking job. But, again, I don't see a single name being thrown into chat, and that's the problem. Every time everyone says, let's fire AA, but then I say, who do you want to take his spot then? And nobody knows a single name. You can't put Bigums in as CEO. I would be talking, every sponsor would leave. I swear too much, and I call people names. And I would be like, you can't have a CEO calling out corruption on Twitter every day, talking shit to Jamie Dimon. I mean, I love exposing these fucking pieces of trash, dude. And I'd have to stop exposing the pieces of trash. Matt Kors. Could you fucking imagine Matt Kors? He would be the first person to sell out. He would be the worst person I think you could possibly put as a CEO. He'd ask Meet Kevin every day, what should we do? Meet Kevin, what should we do? Fucking Meet Kevin. But that's what I'm saying, man. If anybody could give me a legitimate name. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody we want is Tucker Carlson, Trump, shit like that. I mean, they're not going to come be CEO of the fucking movie theater chain. And that's the thing, man. There's nobody we're all going to come to an agreement on. There's nobody that... I mean, even the people saying me. There's a lot of people in this community that don't trust me and they hate me. And anytime I would make a move, they would say, he's a shill. He's just as bad as AA. Like, that's the problem. There's nothing or nobody you're going to put in his place that people are going to be like, yeah, this dude's going to be great. And then everything they do, they'll support. I could fucking take over. I could do the reverse split, put every penny towards debt, and they would still bitch that I had to use the reverse split or something. That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, if we wanted shit to get done, we would put Joe Biden in there because Biden would bring in some of the best ice cream flavors you could ever fucking imagine. And we would take off. He knows all the good flavors. He's always eating his ice cream cone, talking about how good the economy is. But I mean, in the end of the day, I guess, I could swear at all these people as long as the company's profitable. What are they going to do? Yep, let's do it. Bigum CEO. Fuck presidential candidate 2024 Bigums. We're going Bigum CEO. That's funny. Yeah, see? And that's the thing, Phil. Me and you could make a better marketing fucking commercial than that Nicole Kidman. We'd make ape videos all day. I'd have an ape clothing line, dude. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I'd meet Ryan Gosling. We could interact, and I could officially become his stunt double, dude. Shit would get real. He wears fake butt pads. Who the fuck's out there wearing fake butt pads? That's the thing. That's the thing. My first action as CEO is I would make ape fanny packs. And then each one we'd make fun of Matt Kors inside. Or it'd come with its own, oh god, we'd have to think of something. I'd have some fun. Fucking Matt Kors. Nah, though, there's a lot of things he could be doing that I'd try out, though, that we could raise some capital instead of fucking having to sell common stock. I mean, that would be like the last effort thing I would do if I was a CEO. I mean, I don't get why instead of just, if that's your way of raising capital, why the fuck don't we just make like just make an ape coin. Just mint like an ape coin of some type of thing like everybody's been saying forever. Just see how much money you can raise off it. And anything you raise off it anyways is fucking profit. So, I mean, what's it hurt to try? But whatever. I mean, some of the shit he is doing is good. I mean, he's cutting the middleman out in the theater business in every single aspect. He's going to make his own candy, pretty much going to have our own, like I said, drinks. He's partnering with ice. We're getting our own ice that no one else has. It was one of the things I said we should be doing. We're gaining massive exposure in Saudi Arabia, and they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger over there, so that'll be nice. We're going to be not only the #1 theater chain, in America, eventually we'll be in Saudi Arabia as well, so that'll be sweet. Obviously, you got popcorn. He's shipping out to stores. We're going to be in way more stores next year. By this time next year, I mean, fuck, we might be in grocery stores. That'd be sick. Who knows what else he'll come up with. But like I said, every aspect of the movie theater industry itself and the movie business, he's cutting out the middleman. And that's what you need to do. I mean, if you're going to make max profits, I mean, why the fuck wouldn't you do that? I don't know why he didn't have... We should have been, I mean, AMC and all these theater companies, why wouldn't you have your own exclusive candy? And just make sure it's good as fuck. Why wouldn't you have your own exclusive shit that you're selling at your place only? I mean, it's just crazy to me. I mean, and the other thing too, it's like if AMC starts paying off debt and they buy more theaters and get stronger situation financially, they can go up to, the movie studios and say, hey, we need a better deal. We need to make more on these ticket sales. That would be fucking huge for them too. That's one thing that I'm surprised they haven't tried to do, because that's the other aspect in their industry that they, in their business model, that they still have a middleman, which obviously is the movie studio, but that middleman takes, such a massive percent of that fucking ticket sale, which, fuck that, dude. I mean, there's a lot of things I would try as a CEO quick. I mean, I'm sure maybe Adam has tried to talk to these guys. Maybe they're on a deal that I don't know about. I'm not too sure, but there's a lot of things that we could be doing still to be raising some cash. Exotic cars. Yeah, but that might get expensive. And you're not trying to, we don't have too much money to be spending on trying out a car theme like that, because what if it doesn't work and people don't like sitting in a car, or they want to be able to sit back and kick back? That cars, if you have cars and shit like that, you're limiting how many seats you can have, which limits how much profit you can make per movie, makes it that much harder to pay those cars off. I mean, gotta make sure it's a good profitable idea, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Aaron? How you doing, buddy? I've seen you message me on Twitter a lot. I've been like dying, dude. Hope all is well, my friend. Data, I said that myself too. There's other ways he can raise money. If I was CEO, I would have, like I said, I would make a fucking ape coin. I would do something just to see what you can make off it. The reason he wants to do it through shares is you could pay off so much debt so fast. You can save so much on interest payments. It's retarded. And on top of that, when you pay off all that debt, you get a better credit rating. You can issue your current bonds at a lower interest percentage. I mean, there's a lot of things. The faster you pay off debt and start tackling the issue, I mean, it opens up so many more fucking avenues for you as a company. And the fastest way to do that for him, apparently, is to do it through common stock. Either way, there's going to be dilution. And this is the thing. And this is why I keep telling everybody. If let's say we say no, or this doesn't go through, and all of a sudden he says no, and there's no conversion, and it stops, well, then you're not out of dilution. And that's what everybody keeps thinking. Oh, well, this doesn't go through, the reverse doesn't go through, sweet. I'm not going to dilute. No, instead you're going to dilute at $1. You're going to dilute at 88.90 cents. You're going to dilute way fucking less than at a price than you're even considering now. And you're going to have to dilute by the billions. And then by the time it does come to fucking vote again down the road, there'll be billions more ape units that will be converting over. You see what I'm saying? So you're not going to get out of dilution one way or another. But by doing this 10-to-1 reverse split, you're able to get that dilution at a maximum value while lowering the flow for future investors, while making the stock now attractive again for more buyers. While getting out the predatory lenders that are shorting your fucking company out of your boardroom. I mean, that's massive. Maybe they're not able to get those guys out of the boardroom unless they raise massive amount of capital at a time to just completely pay the fucking bonds off and get them the fuck out of there. Let's see what corruption's going on here. Does anyone have any more questions though at all? I mean, I've been streaming for a while here. I got a whole bunch more I wanted to go over, but I don't want to. I've already been streaming for like almost 2 hours here, so yeah. Any more questions at all? Others, I think I'm gonna head out. I'm probably gonna stream again tomorrow. I have a couple more things I wanted to go over in the stream that I didn't get into today, but I don't see any more questions, so thanks everybody for coming. I hope you have a good day, and glad my mouth's better, man. Excited to talk again, so thanks everybody. Have a good day. Appreciate it.